Hi everyone. So I just thought I would come on really quickly tonight and talk a little bit about some negative energy and how these things influence you, because a lot of people who are either new to magical concepts or don't really deal with it on a regular basis tend to think that, you know, if nobody's doing actual like workings against them and they don't know anybody who does that or anything like that, then it might not be affecting them, or, you know, they wouldn't need to do cleansing work or uncrossing work, which would be like for bigger things like hexes and curses and whatever, stuff like that. And for the most part, that's true. I mean, usually, unless you're in the trenches in a lot of this stuff, there's not a big, huge reason as far as other people doing stuff to you. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. And so I want to talk a little bit about some of the most common ways that we wind up getting ourselves or having our energies crossed up, having them messed up so that we're not able to either manifest stuff that we've been working on, right? Like we're not able to progress in our lives. We seem stuck in the same kind of energetic, I don't know, traps or failings. We get ahead a little bit, let's say with money or something, right? You get a promotion or whatever, something like get a new job, and you're making more money on paper technically, but circumstances seem to go wrong in your life and you're still not making it. You're still in the same position that you've always been. Your car breaks down, then you have to get another one and your payment's high, whatever. Things like that happen, or just consistently things going wrong, right? Or relationship patterns. Those ones tend to be a little bit more complicated, but the fact of the matter is you tend to get into relationships that just sort of repeat themselves. Even though they're different people, it's the same circumstance or whatever the case is, right? Or health issues sometimes, which always go to the doctor first. I'm definitely not saying that magic or energy is the way that you should always deal with that stuff. However, after you've ruled out a whole lot of things, and maybe you even do discover that it's a health-related condition, but it keeps coming back and it's really like, it's not normal, right? Or you can't find a cause to it, or it's not enough of a health thing to go in and figure out. You're just tired and run down and unmotivated and feel stuck, right? There's not really anything to talk about, but it feels like a health issue, that kind of energy. I want to talk to you guys about the way that the people around us, even people you don't know about, influences. Those are circumstances, as well as things like nightmares and stuff like that, and weird rodent bug activity, plants dying, different things like that, that can seem to be more severe stuff that might be somebody has put a hex on you or something, like intentionally. But the other stuff, the stuff that just seems like daily bullshit, I can't seem to get ahead kind of energy, that stuff, you don't need somebody actively working against you, like lighting candles or whatever, right? Binding up a doll or anything like that. You don't need somebody to actively be doing work against you like that to affect your energy that way. All it takes, this is how kind of creepy it is, all it takes is somebody who's watching you, who is envious or jealous of you for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. It probably won't make sense to you. Envious or jealous of you. And that can be people who are watching you on social media. It can be people who are working with you, people who call themselves friends. It can be people in your everyday life. They might not even realize, and most of the time that they don't, but they might not even realize that that kind of energy is affecting you, and it has, you know, whatever it has to do with them. But their attention on you in an envious, jealous, or even overly admiring of you, because that is kind of that same envious type of energy, puts energetic ties on you and crosses up your energy. It makes it so that these things get stuck. And so it doesn't take somebody who knows anything about magic to do this kind of work on you. All it takes is people, and let me tell you, you might think, because we tend to project stuff, you're like, well, I don't like hate watch channels, or I don't, or people in my life, or I don't do this, or I don't do that. So like, really, who would? Or you might think to yourself, my life is not that interesting. What the hell could somebody possibly be jealous or envious or whatever about, right? Because I don't do it, I don't assume that other people are acting that way or doing that kind of stuff. But you would be incredibly wrong on that. There are a lot of people out there, and I will tell you that the most common are covert narcissists in your life and psychic vampires and things like that. But we're talking about people who are just chronically insecure with their own circumstances or dealing with covert narcissism in your life, whether you know them or not. But even more so if you do know them and you don't realize that they're dealing with this, who put out such evil eye energy so intensely over their insecurities and their jealousies and that's really manipulative energy, and they don't have to light a candle, do nothing to do that, to undermine you, to be working consistently against you behind the scenes, right? So you don't have to know anything about magic. You don't have to know people who know anything about magic to be dealing with this energy on a regular basis. Really a lot more common than you think. And some people deal with it for years of just feeling like they're spinning their wheels. They can't get ahead. They don't feel good. Their relationships suck, or they can't get better with whatever. It could be any number of things. And the way that we deal with that kind of stuff, the reason I'm telling you this is because a lot of times people don't realize that this is what they're dealing with. But people like me and others who deal with this stuff on a regular basis, undoing this kind of work, clearing it out, uncrossing people, putting protection on people, like regular energy maintenance on behalf of those who don't know how to do it themselves or don't feel confident enough to do it themselves or are still learning or whatever the case is, can tell you that most of the work that we do is not against other practitioners doing stuff to people. That's there. And it's heavier hitting and it's different stuff. But the regular everyday stuff for people is just dealing with these narcissistic type of people in your life. It could be the partner that you are with who is jealous of everything you do and doesn't want you to have fun. That, or like have a good time or be ever happy or anything like that. Your parents. Let me tell you who does some of the worst kind of energy that way. Family members who are overly religious, like ways that you would think are kind of a little, they're just extremely enthusiastically religious, yet judgmental about everything that you do and are praying for you. That is closer to actively working magic against you than other than outright doing it, like with the intention of doing something against people. That praying for you to whatever, see the light, get better, whatever they think that you need. Let me tell you, like, people who do this stuff especially know that in using the Bible with Psalms, with anything like that you're doing is hardcore magic, right? Like it can move some shit, it does some stuff, okay? And you can curse and hex using the Bible. You can do some wicked stuff to people using the Bible. So don't think that just because we everyday normal people assume that if people are religious, they have the best of intentions towards you. That's not necessarily the case. And even if they think they have the best of intentions, they could be laying down some really, really hard stuff on you because they are actively praying against you for whatever thing they think you need in their head, right? So believe me, this stuff happens a lot. So anyways, this is kind of out there just for people who don't really understand or know yet, or think that because they're maybe not involved in the magical stuff that it can't affect them, or it's not something that they just don't know how to see it. Like, we're not taught that anymore. This used to be an everyday thing. Like, people, even whether they use the word magic ever right, in their life, they knew how to spot this kind of stuff. They knew how to like, oh, so-and-so's a little bit too admiring of you, a little bit too, you know, interested in what you're doing. We better cleanse. Or they could spot it if things started to go downhill or stuff just, they would get the right signs, right? So when we do this work, in order to find out or figure out if this is a situation or to which level it is, you always do a reading. You can find out, a lot of times you can even find out exactly where it's coming from or close enough to where it's coming from. You don't have to know to get rid of it, but just know you could be an average everyday person and this stuff is out there just from people that you would never even think, because they're not doing anything, are jealous, envious, don't want you to succeed, undermining your stuff, praying for you, right? They're actively, that is really intense work. Cleansings, uncrossings, getting rid of that stuff, opening the door, drawing in love, money, luck, crown of success, whatever the case may be. Also, obviously, jealous and envious coworkers that you're with or around, people who are jealous of your relationships, like there's so much things like that, and they are not even intentionally necessarily doing it, but they can sort of fester and harbor on that so much that it really messes up your energy. Just their focused intention on you messes up your energy. So anyway, that's my sort of PSA on what like an evil eye cure or uncrossing work is for. In case you hear something about that is like, oh, you know what, actually seems like, all right, well, I do that work intentionally so you can move forward with your life. You can be uncrossed. You can get that energy off of you, not just get it off of you, cleansed and off of you, but open the door again, right? Remove the blocks, open the doors, move forward with your energy. So that you can get out of the same ruts and shit you're stuck in, and also send that energy back if need be, right? We can do return to sender work. We can do protection work. After all of that's cleared and done, you being aware of who and what and where and how this stuff affects you, being able to put protection work on you so that it doesn't happen again, prevent some of that kind of stuff, all of that, right? All of that kind of work. So that's the kind of work that I do in order to help people move on and get unstuck from some of that nasty energy, like cobwebs on you, you know. Anyway, if I can help, if that's ring any bells, right? Or made you think about anything, or you at least want to get a reading to see if there is that kind of energy on you, if it's coming from someplace else, or if you have done it, because we can jinx ourselves. We all know that, right? So if you are interested in seeing, or you know for sure based off of what I said that, yeah, that's probably the case, or it made you think of, you know, that family member who's a little bit too prayerful over you, focused on you, whatever, any of that stuff, let me know. All my links are, this will be on Facebook and on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, like, whatever. I'm posting it on several different platforms, so do all the things. Anyways, I hope you guys have a blessed night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.